Hello, how you doing? Happy Monday. Do love a Monday. I better bring my microphone closer, isn't I, actually? I'm here in my little chair. Hello, and yo. Terry James here, holistic mindset coach and digital entrepreneur, coming live to you just after 3 o'clock on a glorious sunny Monday in Kent. How the devil are we? If you're listening in anywhere or jumping on, throw us up a comment, throw us up a hello. Let us know where you're watching in from, where you're listening in from, possibly. We are live all over the globe on Web 3.0. We are everywhere. We are in TikTok land here. We're in Instagrammy land over there. And at the back here, we've got my old faithfuls. The 5 groups across Facebook we have. I still have to look. I'll know one day not to look. I'll try and do it without looking. LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. There we go. Almost forgot Twitter. How are we, guys? If you're catching this on the replay, chuck in a hashtag replay for us as well. Hello to you guys, Jack, and everyone else who's jumping on TikTok. This is an opportunity for Q&As as well, guys. So if anything you want to ask or anything you like, you can literally ask me anything. I will get to it at the end. But for today, I want to talk to you about Reboot U22. We started our holistic positivity fitness in mind, body and soul program last night. We had our welcome party. We had 10 rebooters ready, primed, happy, high vibing, notepads ready. And we basically went into the 5 pillars of our daily routines. We went into some time management, some things to be aware of as we set out new daily tasks, routines. You need to be aware of what time you've actually got available to you. So we did a nice exercise where we basically do a timeline of our lives, so 0 to 80, and then we take out all the elements without or not within our control. And what does that look like? Well, essentially, it doesn't look like much time left. You've got 40 years in the middle of your working lives between the ages of 20 and actually it's 50 years these days, isn't it? Not 40 anymore. Between 20 and 70, where you get to work 50, 60, maybe more hours a week. You have jobs. Hi, Jill. Hi, Louise. Giving you a wave down on Instagram. We have jobs. We have routines. We have all this other stuff that draws us away from any pleasurable activities. We have responsibilities and everything else that goes on in between. But the main thing is sleep and a job, or I prefer calling it an income producing activity, because we choose in our jobs, we choose in our lives what we attribute to. Unfortunately, we are in this kind of bit of a wanky paradigm that means that we are literally just working, paying taxes, and then dying. That's sad, isn't it? But it doesn't have to be that way, because it's all about perception. And we are creative thinking beings, and what we think about the most, we create. So if you want a happier life, believe me, it starts from within. Otherwise, we end up going without a lot of the times. You're never going to be fulfilled by trying to make yourself happy. Make yourself happy first, then help other people make them happy, and you'll get ultimate fulfillment. So rather than me just going blah, 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 I'll get on with today's content. 5 pillars of daily routine. So I was just saying about how much time we have or don't have when we're looking at our lives on like a timeline. Now let's break that down into a day. So if we've got this 40, 50 years in the middle of our lives where we can really thrive, do what we want to do, have control, what do we do with most of that? Well, we work most of it, we sleep the other half of it, and we have probably about a 25% window of us actually doing stuff we want to do. What are we doing with that? Well, we're at the moment, you're trying to squeeze in everything from exercise, seeing family, eating, watching Netflix, and any self improvement, any self development you might be doing along the way. So it's tough. We know it's tough. So we have to be pretty organized if we're going to nail down the things that we want to do in our lives. Pretty organized if we want to level up, read a book, learn some new stuff, unlearn some stuff. I think a lot of us could do with unlearning a lot of stuff at the moment. And it's slowly happening that way, isn't it? The way we live our lives, the way in which we structure ourselves, working with our families, even our belief systems are being tweaked. I think with what's going on in the world right now, it's really kind of blatant to say people can wake up, smell the coffee, know that things are a little bit pants, and it's down to each and every one of us. It's our responsibility to make the best of it. So 5 daily pillars, 5 things that you can do every day, which I believe everybody should be starting to or be aware of if they want to live a happy and fulfilling life. So number one, let's talk about relaxation and oneness. Well, if you're spending most of your day just sleeping for 8 hours, or at least you should be, some people will basically sewer their sleep so that they're going out and doing income producing activities, or they're just tired, they've got families, and essentially you're taking days and weeks and time off the end of your life if you're not getting enough relaxation and happiness and looking after yourself whilst you do. I suppose when you're in the prime of life, if we're not doing the right things to love ourselves, to love our bodies, then essentially we're creating a lot of dis-ease for ourselves and our bodies, and that's when mutations and diseases occur. Not only have we got chemicals and all sorts of nasties in water, in foods, and there's alcohol and drugs and everything we're conditioned just in society is just pretty normal, but we're not doing enough holistic stuff. We're not doing enough stuff. So if we just look at, for instance, the Eastern world versus the Western world, well, it's not by coincidence that like Asians, Japanese, for instance, will live on average to 100. They even have many people making it to 110, 120. That's by design. That's because of holistic living. It's because of culture. It's because of mindfulness and the way in which they have an approach to everyday life. So oneness and relaxation is super, super important. You might have heard of hypnosis, you might have heard of meditation and everything in between. Well, essentially, these things aren't new. I know that religion and other kind of occultish kind of institutions don't like certain things, and I'll tell you why they don't like it. They don't like you knowing that the power is within you, that we hold the power, that we as individuals, we as light energy, we are all godlike. We have all got the power that creates universes and worlds running right through us. So it's easy for us to be indoctrinated with fear. It's easy for us to be told that we're not worthy, to be made to feel worth less, unloved, and alone, because then it's easier to get us to do certain things. It's easier for us to be a low vibrational being at the low end where all the crap is, than something that's really cool and high vibing and self-assured and full of love and happiness and giving it out to the world. So smile and the world smiles with you, creating positive ripple effects. Well, this is all to do with oneness. And if you can take even a 5, 10, 20-minute break from your life every single day to have some relaxation, to experience breath work, go to the place of no thought. This is all we're talking about when it talks about mindfulness, relaxation techniques, trance, oneness. Essentially, it's practicing the muscle of going in your mind, telling yourself not to think, and just being. And then you raise your vibration, you connect with yourself on a higher level, and you actually start kind of feeling and experiencing some really wonderful, divine, funky stuff. Also, massive, massive benefit, it helps to reprogram and balance your mind. So where we've been watching this and hearing about that, and certain words and certain agendas and narratives are forced upon, and we are influenced by them, they start showing up on their own. They start making difference to how we actually make decisions, how we navigate and maneuver within our own lives. So by taking back a little bit of that power, it can be done quite passively, listening to some nice relaxation, delta waves, meditation, that kind of thing. Even when you go to bed, listen to it passively. It will change your life, I promise you. So that's number one. Number two, gratitude. Gratitude is the gateway to joy. So being grateful for the things we have in our life. If you're having a practice where you're basically looking around and saying, oh, I love the blue sky and I love that pussycat and I love this, and just getting used to kind of just doing and saying those things to yourself, what will start happening over a period of time is, instead of the normal negative bias and, oh, weather's crap, life's crap, oh, how are you? Oh, not too bad. Oh, life's shit, it is what it is. You know, all of these normal conversations, which are all very bullshitty, to be fair. Like, oh, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. I say what's been good. A bit more thought-provoking. You've actually got to answer the question. You've got to think. And you might think, nothing's been good. There's always something that's been good, no matter how small. It could be a conversation. It could be a smile from a neighbour. It could be the cuddle you had with your cat this morning. There's always something to be grateful for. And when you shine the light on the grateful things in your life and the high vibey stuff and the things that you love, that you want more of, you actually notice more things. So that's number 2, gratitude. 3, movement, exercise, walking, stretching, moving your body. If you don't move your body, you're losing. Essentially, energy in motion, emotion. So we need to move. We need to take action. We need to move our bodies. We need to, even if it's body weight, get up in the morning, stretch our bodies, look positively at ourselves, exercise, walk, stretch, move. It's your God-given right. We don't want to be like those big fat people in Wall-E, do we, in 10 years' time, when robots are doing everything for us, and we're literally just pressing a button and moving around. And then we're slowly moving towards a world that's like that, aren't we, really? But at the moment, we still allowed outside. We've got sunshine. We're gifted with legs. We're gifted with the power of certain freedoms that we can go out, walk in nature, connect with ourselves, do it, and get used to doing it. Number 4, affirmation, self-talk, visualizations, mindset, challenges set for yourself. Well, what is an affirmation? To affirm something is just to repeat, say something, write something. It's affirming a statement to yourself. I believe, and it's well documented and well proven, that when you write something down, they're called spellings. Well, the spoken word, the written word, the way we use our language, we're essentially writing spells. We're projecting spells out there. The spoken word is only 10% of our communication that we actually use. 90% is for kinesthetics, which means emotion, body language, energy, vibration. And we pick up on all that stuff too. But essentially, if you're going to turn around and say positive power statements to yourself, things which will affirm and help to reprogram faulty beliefs. If you've got a belief, if you catch yourself saying to yourself, oh, I'm so stupid, or I'm overweight, or I'm ugly, or nobody will love me, these kind of things, well, you're just affirming it to yourself. And essentially, that stuff's going to sharpen your life. So if you want more of something, just keep focusing on that. Or you can become the observer of your thought and realize, actually, I'm not my thinking, and I get to choose. And you can change that to the powerful opposite, something that's going to serve you a lot better. A few people jumping on and off a few of the different channels. If you can, give me a like, give me a little wave if you're hanging around and listening in. A few people over here. Hi, Grace. Hi, a few of the others. Throw us up a comment, ask a question. Very, very welcome to interact with me. It'd be pretty good. And thank you over here on Instagram as well. Oh, just turned everyone off. So number 4 was affirmations, your self-talk, using visualization, mindset challenges by speaking kindly to yourself. Super, super important, super, super powerful. If you can't even speak kindly to yourself, what hope do we have, really? And up to 4 years ago, when I started my holistic journey, when I was unplugged from the matrix, even now, just thinking back on the kind of conversations I'd have with myself, the kind of things that would pop up and say, absolutely disgusting. Some of the things that pop into our own minds. God knows where some of it comes from. Conditioning, programming, inherited from other people. But you are not your thinking. It's good and bad in everybody, okay? And that's just the balance of the universe. Everything's in perfect harmony and balance with itself. So where there's dark, there's light. Where there's positive, there's negative. So be kind to yourself and know that you are not your thinking. Do not interject with thinking that is not serving to you, and just let it go. Let it go. And if you can go into doing some meditations and practicing letting go of your thoughts, then that's super, super powerful, because you could literally just conjure that shit away. So number 5, what goes in must come out. Okay, we're talking about mindset, we're talking about programming and what goes in, what we consume, but also we're talking about what we consume physically. Drinking water, what kind of water? What kind of foods are you eating? If your body represents a swimming pool, because we're made up of 75% water, look at all the things you're consuming, whether it be the food, the drinks. I mean, if you like burgers, fast food, beers, wines, coffees, shots, all this other stuff, and then look at, okay, well, your brain's 84% made up of water, your body's 75%. What does your swimming pool look like? as in your body, your vessel, the water you're carrying in your body. Most of us are actually under oxygenated and suffering from dehydration in the modern Western world. So what does that mean to you? Well, if you're 84% water in your brain and you're a little bit dehydrated, well, it's going to shrivel up like a prune. So there's no wonder that you've got brain fog, or we suffer the way we do with anxiety, with soaring thoughts. And of course, then your bodily organs are struggling, aren't they? They're struggling to produce the chemicals and hormones, to do the miraculous healing, the jobs that they're there to do. Constantly battling a fight, battling against a losing war because of the amount of chemicals and heavy metals and other nasties, free radicals, which are being put in our bodies through a lot of the things that we're drinking and eating, and societal things which we think, oh yeah, it's fine. You know, we go for fast foods, we drink alcohol, we do this. You notice the things that are pushed towards us are the things that are taxed the most. Interesting. So, love yourself with nourishing food and beverages. Really, Louise Hay's book, and I love listening to her audios. She says very, very nice. It's like listening to your grandma, kind of giving you lots of love, really. But she's like, love yourself with nourishing food and beverages. So if it doesn't grow from the ground, give some of it up. You basically want to see a rainbow on your plate every day, guys. And of course, it's colourful and it's nice. So it's good feels for everybody. But drinking enough water is super, super important. What does what does oxidization mean? And when we're like suffering from a lack of it in our bodies, well, essentially we're not breathing properly. So learning about breath works, and when you breathe deep in, start again. When we breathe in deeply, sometimes we get like tingling in our head and go a bit lightheaded. Well, that's because we're under oxygenated. We, since a young age, we stopped abdominal consciously breathing, and we've become upper lung breathers. So with what's going on in the world and people having to get having to go on respirators and things like that, actually, it's very well known that we can actually survive on something like 5% of like our lung capacity. We can survive on very, very little, but we don't even breathe properly in the first place. So that's crazy. Who have we got coming up on here? Sorry, there's a picture come up on TikTok. I thought my daughter was watching it, but it didn't. What have I got? 3 new messages. No, there's no new messages down there. So there we go. Right, giving you a wave down there, Vinny. How are we, my man? So if you're jumping on, throw us up a comment, throw us up a like, throw us up a little bit of love. Who we got there? Von is on. Hello on Facebook to Von Garrett. Hope you're well. Happy Monday to you. So today we're covering 5 pillars daily routines, the importance of this. And the reason that I was doing this with our tribe yesterday of the reboot mission was because we had 10 rebooters start for our welcome party. So it's really important to talk about the time we have, scheduling our time, be aware of the time that we waste, so that we can actually move into creating new habits and creating the space that we need to thrive. So it's really important before we start any kind of program or change, self-development program that you want to do, is to get involved with planning out your time, when you can do certain things. Let that become your new normal over a short period of time, and then start adding in the things you need to do. So we was talking about oneness, relaxation. So essentially every single day, letting go of thought, allowing yourself to meditate, come home to yourself. That is super, super important and powerful. So oneness, relaxation. Number 2, gratitude. What's been good? Asking yourself, checking in with yourself multiple times daily. Just being an observer of your thought, realizing that, oh shit, was I thinking about that for a couple of hours? That's not serving me. Let it go. What's been good? Focus on that instead. Nice and simple. Movement, exercise, walking, stretching. If you're not using it, you're losing it. Simple as that. Affirmations, your self-talk, visualization, the questions that we ask, the way in which we speak to ourselves is really, really important. If you're asking yourself the right questions, look at this for an exercise. Your mind does not know a negative. So if I turn around to you and say, imagine me wearing a pink hat. Pink hat came. No, I said that wrong. If I say, don't imagine me. So don't imagine a green elephant. Don't imagine your cat with a mankini on. Really, really weird, funny stuff. But your mind does not know negatives, as in dose. It won't wipe them out. So you have to be really mindful of that. And if that's the one thing you're ever going to take away from hearing from me, that is a game changer all by itself. So what happens? I turn around to people and say, thank you down there saying this, I'm right. Yeah, I do. I am a truth seeker and speaker. Oh, I like that. I'm going to write that down. Seeker and speaker. So you say, you get people lying to you, saying what's been good, because you just turn around and ask them, oh, well, how are you? And they go, not too bad, thanks. It's just like automatic program responses. So we want to have better dialogue. We want to have better communication with ourselves. We have to be aware of the language we're using. I'm an NLP practitioner. That means neuro-linguistic programming. I've done hypnotherapy courses, helped people for the last few years. I got out of the coaching game. I've just come back into it to do more like group coaching and programs, things that we can do through decentralization, away from main channels, and not one-to-one in people's houses, essentially doing it online, helping other people to set up their own kind of things, whether it be healers, holistic, using digital assets, even just getting the support. A lot of people are screwed right now. Middle class, working people, working folk are going through a hard time of it, either because of they are allowed to work under certain conditions, or they're not allowed to work because of certain restrictions. In the UK, we're quite lucky that a lot of this has kind of gone away short term, but it will be short term because it's just sleight of hand stuff. When I know, just look at magicians. If attention's being over here, it means something's going over there. And our governments are no different than that. They are set out to help us, to be there for us. They've got our best interests at heart, haven't they? Yeah. And I'm saying it like that because you know exactly where I'm coming from. If you're awake and aware and you want to do something with your life, something to take back a bit of control, then I implore you, I beg you to start rolling in some of this fluffy, holistic stuff into your daily routine. It changed my life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this stuff. It all started with me wanting to learn how to do marketing, to do hypnotherapy with people to help. And then I realised I had to get really, really good at digital marketing, or else I'm never going to earn any money. Then I was like, okay, well, is it about earning money or making an impact? So now with the wonderful technical revolution, the digital age we're in, we're actually to get the messages out to many, many people. So I'm essentially now going live in 10 places at once. I would like to go live in more places. I like to do audios, clubhouse rooms, that kind of thing. But I do get a few people watching on these, so this is why I'm here just now. So number three was movement. We're talking about how important it is to have movement, exercise, walking, stretching, the affirmations, your self-talk. Number 4, visualization. And what I was going to get to was the power of asking questions. Thank you very much down there for throwing us up a few likes and a rose. That's very kind of you. I'm very, very aware that if we use the right questions, then you can ask yourself quantum questions, which essentially is like you said, like going, why is this always happening to me? Because life's happening for you. So you'd say, okay, where's the lesson here? How would I rather feel? Who would this not be a problem for? If this wasn't a problem for me, how would I be acting and behaving? What would it look like? Where am I? What am I doing? Who am I with when I've achieved X, Y, Z? It's very easy for us to have dreams, call them goals, but not make a plan. Dreams can just be dreams. Goals are something physical that you need to take action towards. But remember, you don't just run to the top of a mountain. You have to kind of know that, okay, you're going to have to go a little bit. You're going to have to take a breath, look around, regain your strength. A lot of the times you have to stop, have a summit, regroup, kind of relook at the path if situations have changed. So don't be overwhelmed with life. Just worry about staying present and taking that next step. That's all we have to do. So number 5 is being aware about what goes in must come out. That's about being the good coach, the observer of yourself, allowing yourself the space to grow, letting go of some stuff, letting go of like maybe you drink energy drinks and you're blatantly addicted to those now because you're waking up every day and having a couple of those. Maybe it's that you don't want to smoke anymore, but you're not quite sure. 90% of any addiction is habit, 10% is the addiction itself. So when you can change, hi Keith, hope you're doing well, mate, down there. When you can change the habit first, then a lot of the time you don't have any obstacles. So essentially with me, when I stopped smoking many, many years ago, I knew, well, where was going to be the hardest ones to stop? And it was after like after having a meal, when you first go out in the car, and when you have a drink. So they were the first ones to tackle, essentially. So if you're watching in from somewhere, give us a like, give us a question. I'm quite happy to answer any questions. What I'm doing today is I'm just covering a couple of the things that we did our first welcome session within the Reboot U22 Mind, Body, Soul, Fitness, Positivity program. Bit of a mouthful. Didn't have to look anywhere for that. I've said it a few times now over the last week since I was launching. Trying to quit vaping now, Chris. Thing with the vaping is it's no different than smoking, and it's a catch-22 because when they wanted the initiative to stop people from smoking, they basically just got everyone then addicted to taking like a placebo or Nicorette patches and gum. So everyone shifted, and all the revenue shifted, like taxation-wise, from smoking to the remedy to quit smoking. Now, of course, vaping's huge, and there's no real reason why in 10 years' time there's not going to be a load of side effects or things that come out about studies about what vaping's doing. I mean, if you're using cheap vape fluid, you're probably going to have some problems. And if you're using the more expensive stuff, possibly not. Who knows though, right? We'll just find out. But if you're trying to quit vaping now, what it'll be more so with the vaping is habit. Really will be habit. So why don't you turn down the nicotine down on it to it's like nearly zero, because then all you're going to be doing is just smoking air, essentially, and then slowly like leave it further away, realize where you're doing it the most, and then try and tackle those little habits. It might be that you wake up and then go and get a coffee, and then you've got the vape. Most people that I know actually vape more than they would if they were just smoking. I know a guy that many years ago, every time we stopped at the airport, he'd stop there, he'd be cleaning out his little thing, topping it up, mucking around, and he'd be there all day going, all day long. Whereas if he just smoked, he probably would have smoked like 5 fags. I don't know, it's strange. Everyone's different, but whatever works for you, it's your life, your decision, and whatever motivates you to stop is up to you as well. But just know this, it's easier than you think, and you can literally just have a thought and think, fuck it, I just say no thank you, I don't smoke. And then every time you think, is there going to be a habit of going to do something, just go, no. Use hypnosis, use meditations, that kind of thing. Mr. Luke Rayner, hope you're well. Hope you, lovely lady and baby, are well in Spain. So, the 5 pillars. Every single day, it's worth spending a little bit of time meditating. One is going to a place of no thought so that you can give yourself a break from your life. Expressing gratitude or just asking yourself what's been good is a gateway to joy. The more things you have and the more you communicate in your life to be grateful and what you're happy about, the more you're going to notice. Movement, exercising, walking, stretching is just a given. If you're not moving it, you're losing it. Affirmation, self-talk, visualizations. You ask yourself the right questions, speak to yourself in the nicest way possible, be kind and help yourself. You can actually create visualizations around where you want to go rather than just kind of being the bully or the victim to yourself. What goes in must come out. So that's the 5. And what we're talking about there is in making sure that you're drinking enough water, because most people aren't hungry, they're just thirsty, and eating the goodness, the sweeties from the earth, making sure that you're having good supplementation, because we can't physically, we'd be sitting around eating all day like we were thousands of years ago if we was to get enough nutrients and fiber and stuff that we need. It's not really that practical to eat that much in this day and age. So we have to use a bit of supplementation. We have to eat from the rainbow, drink lots of water. So much crap in our water. If anyone's interested in that stuff, just chuck me up a comment saying water info, something like that in the comment, and I can put you in contact with a group that's all talking about water dangers, water health, what's in your water, why we have what they call mutations, disease in our bodies, and a lot of it's to do with what we're putting in. There's minerals, there's free radicals, there's nasties, there's parasites, there's chemicals, there's heavy metals, and all of which our bodies aren't supposed to have in there. So now I'm going to give you a super tip of how you can roll this stuff together so it's really quick and easy. The first and the last hour of your day is pretty much your own for most people. Your first and your last hour. So you've got less distractions. There might not be kids around, phones going off, work, calls, emails, distractions, doorbells ringing. So what I do is if you want to win the morning, win the day, it's really important to get yourself primed and set up the night before. So when we go to bed, we can have done what we need to do. If you go to bed like stressing and worried about what you've got to get up and do, and you're chasing your tail and you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you're basically going to wake up in that anxiety state. So we start the night before by expressing a bit of gratitude, asking ourselves what's been good that day, no matter how small. So you spend literally just a couple minutes just thinking what's been good, and then pick one and think about what was good about that. Think about the different elements of why it was good. How did it make you feel? Did it make anyone else feel good? And then you go to sleep. You're switching your mind from your subconscious mind, which is on autopilot, just throwing stuff around there, 90,000 thoughts a day. 90% of them are negative, and most of them will be the same shit that was going around the day before. So it's important to be aware of that stuff, to start putting some good stuff in, to program yourself with some real important, loving, powerful statements. So you can do that the night before. And then it puts you in your conscious mind, which you are in control of. You choose. Listen to some delta waves, maybe a nice meditation or hypnosis of some sort for empowering, self-belief, self-love, whatever it is you need. If you haven't got a bloody Scooby-Doo about this stuff, you can reach out to me and I'll point you in the right direction, ask you a few questions, or even send you one of my audios. That's fine, I can help you. So that's your gratitude covered. And you're starting to program and looking for things to be grateful for, right? And you've also covered some passive reprogramming or relaxation. So it's going to help you get a nice restorative sleep, balance your brainwaves, lots of other wonderful things. If you want any of the information that we're covering on the Reboot mission, you're welcome to join us. You can join us at the Personal Freedom Movement on Facebook. You can join there by just putting in personalfreedom.terrylifestyle.com. You can join. You don't even have to put in your email or answer any questions. Just get in there. I'll be in contact with you at some point, either saying hello in the thread, or at some point I do go through and then I just chat up all the new members in a DM and say hello and welcome. But you can get all the content for what we're covering on the course through that group. There'll be ways to access an app, subscription channel that you can actually go in very, very cheaply and access all the information that we're sharing, all the lives, all the trainings and all these other things. Von said something, gratitude. I do two things every morning, writing thoughts, journal, reading instead of watching TV, more healthy eating. That's good. Good way to start. Really important in the morning. If you've got things that need to be done, just do something which is actionable. Do something that's really, really important as soon as you can. So at least if your day goes out of your control and it all goes to shit, at least you've done something positive. So then you wake up. And first thing I do in the morning is I either throw on like a 10-minute affirmations or a reprogramming audio for like inspiration with power statements, or I believe in you, or whatever it might be that I'm feeling that I need at the time, because I've got an arsenal of different ones that I can use. But really, really good just to have something. Normally motivation and affirmations is brilliant, because then you're waking up, and even though you kind of drift back off to sleep, there's something in your mind telling you that this is great, you're great, everything's going to be fine, you're going to go out and crush it. And so you wake up like really, really clear clarity, with a spring in your step, ready to seize the day. So that's always a nice thing, right? So then you can go about doing what you want to do in your day. I personally, as soon as I'm coming out of the shower, I like to get all these things kind of like nailed down before I go to bed. I know that's really serving for me to go to bed, wake up in the right state, listen to that stuff in the morning as well, so I'm primed and ready to go. And then that's the movement and affirmations are covered in the morning, because I would either take the dog out for a walk, I would have a stretch, like a yoga stretch in the morning whilst breathing, and then I can do some push-ups, some sit-ups, some curls, and literally just do like 10 of each. As long as you're doing something, get the blood pumping, get the adrenaline moving around your body through breathing, having good affirmations, moving your body, you've done what's been good, and you've got the relaxation. So apart from actually chugging like one big jug of water in the morning, getting that hydration straight into you because you've basically been dehydrated whilst you're asleep. Hello, cheeky sausage. So that's super powerful. Just the easy things to set yourself up for the day, to create good habits. Yes, you can go down. Journaling is super powerful and important. Writing down where you want to go, what you're doing, brain dump. It's so powerful. I personally am not a massive. I love doing it and it's really beneficial. I'm just really bad discipline wise for like writing stuff. But I know it's really powerful. I know that rather than sort of going like, I am this, I am that with affirmations, it's actually a lot more powerful to kind of like bounce around, to be singing them out loud, to be doing them whilst you're at the gym. You can double up on a lot of holistic practices so that it saves you time, because time is our most precious commodity, isn't it, at the end of the day? So between 20 and 40 minutes, I actually spend a couple of hours. But do remember, I've been doing this for 4 years, and plus my days are all rolled into me doing a lot of this stuff passively. So doing like hypno, affirmations, during the day, I'd always take like sort of 5 to 7 minutes just to listen to something to give me a reset, because stuff happens during the day. We've got outside influences, there's different things that we've got going on. It might be that you're going from like maybe from work back to home life. And I just find it very serving sometimes just to take a break from your life for 5 minutes, have a total reset, and just let it all go. Practice flexing that muscle of letting go, being kind to yourself. So I do what's been good before going to bed, listen to the audio, wake up listening to another audio, go and have a shower, do a bit of exercise. I'm talking to myself, being kind, imagining my day, using the visualization because of the language I'm using to myself, like what could go right today, and being mindful to be in the best state possible so I can go out and seize the day. So that's what we covered yesterday. If you want to get any more information on the Reboot mission or to get access to any of the trainings, you can do that through the Personal Freedom Movement on Facebook. And you can do that just by quite simply chucking in something in the comments, reboot me. Put reboot me, and I can send you in a link, get you in a DM, or even invite you to come and watch some of this live content as we make it. And you'll get access to it afterwards, which is cool. We will do exactly what the people in the course program need as we need it, and then we will share bits of that information with other people, because that's what it's all about. It's all about people helping people. So I hope you're well. If you're catching this anywhere and it's not live, then chuck us in our hashtag replay. Then I can give you a little shout out, say thank you for jumping on. And of course, if you've got any questions at all, just jump on with a question, and I'll be happy to get back to you. So goodbye to Instagram. See you later. Goodbye to TikTok. Goodbye. And goodbye to everybody else. Actually, I'll leave this on here for a second because I've got something I'd really like to share. It's a right little treat at the end, actually. And I'll read this to you. Honor where you are. Honor who you are right now. This moment is precious, for it will teach you everything you need for life. Sit in your silence. Bask in the splendor of your being. Awaken to yourself. In this deep, serene spectacle of life, just listen. What do you hear? Is it crippling silence, or the fear of listening to your own voice? Hold yourself in this moment always, for there is no moment than the one you have right now, at any time. No matter how daunting, no matter how paralyzing, no matter how crazy, it's beautiful in itself, because it's filled with your magic, and it's filled with your light. So never turn down your flame for other people. Shine so bright that they follow you. And remember this one thing, the serenity prayer. Universe, grant me the peace to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Take good care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you on another one.